hit you up the back?
Hello everybody. Hello geezers and geezettes. Hello. Look at the bonnet, just look at it. Gone past the point of urgent of needing a trim, so soak it up. Thought it'd be fun to look back on STL1 because the last video last week was STL4. I found myself looking back all that way to just see my first event of STL1 when the car was pretty much bone stock and all the drifting that I'd done up until that point was Santa pods, various sort of small things, small tracks and stuff like that. Point of entry, like I said in the last video for STL, is having a cool car and some good driving style. So STL1 back in 2016, we had a few spaces left because a few people dropped out or couldn't make it. So it's sort of my chance to say hello and just try and get a ticket to a cool event. At the time, realistically, my driving skill wasn't up to par with the rest of the drivers there, but I think sort of an allowance was made because of my car and to fill up some space. So literally about a couple of weeks before posting my car to out, I'd wound down the coilovers and I just fitted some CST Hyper Zeros. She was sitting really pretty, looking really good. Bought some eBay replica Vertex skirts or something that had rattle can black. Had a genuine Zenki Japanese rear bumper and some replica spats. So she wasn't looking too bad. The car was looking, you know, pretty good. I quite like how stock it was back then. The interior was completely stock. Everything was just stock. So next comes the event. I got stock straight in and just started partying as much as I could. I was one of the cars that was out pretty much constantly. I came back in purely to get a drink and to eat something, and I'll be straight back out just to try and maximise my seat time.
Hit you up the back?
Pretty early on I had some big cars and drivers behind me pushing me forward. You can see in like the clips that I wasn't getting any angle or flick at all where everyone else behind me had started drifting ages before. Yeah, I had barely any angle, barely any flick or speed going in, so everyone sort of had to really adjust. But you know, everyone sort of understood kind of the level I was at and were driving with me and sort of just goading me on in a good way. It didn't feel like I was being forced too much. I could always just pull alongside anyway. Looking back, I can really see the speed and the angle differences of my driving now and how much on the same corners, same track, same car, with the same power, that my driving has progressed and how it's progressed and how I've sort of tweaked the car in terms of its chassis and setup. So I mean, I was having a whale of a time. I was getting in trains with the MX-5s. They were getting as close as they dare to me, knowing that I was still a bit of a noob with things, with bigger tracks, getting consistent results with my line and when to change gear up and down and when to flick and getting a bit more confident, get a bit more speed. I wasn't having to straighten up in the big corner. I was actually nailing it all the way around. And it literally got to 10 minutes before the end of the 2 days. And bear in mind, I had no gauges, nothing. It was a stock SR UK spec, like nothing to it at all. I hadn't even touched the boost, I hadn't done anything. Throughout the day, I had the stock oil warning light was just flickering, and I stupidly thought that, oh, it must be just sort of an electrical thing, you know, sloshing about, but what, who cares? Wrong idea, Tom. That flickering, not very good warning from the stock oil pressure light was, in fact, the engine melting itself. You can hear throughout the day that she's getting a bit more like bogged down, and I just thought that it was like stock boost, you know, it's got 200 if that brake horsepower, so that's just kind of what I expected, just a bit of a bogged down kind of sound. But no, it was the engine literally melting. 10 minutes before the end, complete end of the second day and whole event, I started to hear massive tapping. Up until that point, there wasn't any tapping, there wasn't anything else besides that little flicker and gradual loss of power, I suppose. In my naivety, I thought, let's just carry on. So I pulled back in, we looked underneath the car briefly, and it was literally hissing out oil, absolutely draining itself of this fresh oil. I thought, rebuild time. Oh no! I had another event that I had booked, I think it was another pod or something that I had booked, and I thought, I'll get another engine, chuck it in, and then we'll fix the other one. We did that, and I thought, well, let's just recoup a bit of money, sell it as blown up, melted, whatever, unopened, it's broken, it's tappety. Ended up selling it for like 300 and something pounds, which was pretty good considering, and the new owner knew what he was getting into. He's like, I want to take it apart and just see what's salvageable and just learn the process. I was like, cool, this must be the engine for you. A few days later, he sends me a picture, which I wish I could find. It was a molten mess. It was melted all together. Like, you couldn't even resemble an engine. It was just, I was surprised that it was still running as well as it was, because it was just molten metal. Cars that would burn out and you'd have that molten metal pile at the end. If you know what that looks like, it would look like that. Just a massive pile of molten metal. And his message was just a picture and how, with a question mark. And I just don't know. But what an experience. Wouldn't have changed it for the world. And it proper sort of started boosting me and got me into the bigger tracks and getting the confidence to really push myself in the car. The tracks are meant to be opening next month, which is June, so fingers crossed that is going to happen. Thank you for watching, guys. I know I'm not being consistent with my uploads. That's why I'm missing a couple of days here and there, because I'm, you know, just going through old content at the moment. I can't get out and use the cars and make new stuff, so bear with me. As ever, thanks for viewing, guys. Give me a subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.